Today's class I will be teaching you force between two current loops. Force between two current loops. Current loops or current elements. Force between two current elements. So I will take two loops C1 and C2 carrying currents I1 and I2. I take two loops C1 and C2 carrying currents I1 and I2. This is battery V1, this is battery V2. Let us take a differential length dl of loop C1, which is called vector dl1. The direction of dl1 is that of current I1. Let us take a differential length dl2 of loop C2, which is called vector dl2. The direction of vector dl2 is that of current I2. Right? I am going to write now. Let us consider two loops C1 and C2 carrying the steady currents I1 and I2 as shown in figure 1. This is figure 1. The product of I and vector dl is called current element. Is called current element. The direction of vector dl is that of current I. This means vector dl. This means the direction of vector dl1 is that of I1, and the direction of vector dl2 is that of I2. What I have written, let us consider two loops C1 and C2 carrying the steady currents I1 and I2 as shown in figure 1. The product of I and vector dl is called current element. The direction of vector dl is that of current I. This means the direction of vector dl1 is that of I1 and the direction of vector dl2 is that of I2. The magnetic flux density vector dv2 produced at the current element I1 vector dl1 in accordance with Weyert-Savarez's law is vector dv2 is equal to, what is the distance between dl1 and dl2? Distance between dl1 and dl2 is treated as a vector r12 whose magnet vector r21. It is directed from this element to this element, whose vector r21 has got a magnitude equal to r21, direction equal to er21 cap. In fact, This is the unit vector ER21 cap. So what I have written here, the current element, the magnetic flux density dB2 produced at the current element I1 into vector dl1 in accordance with Bayes' law is. Please note that you want to find magnetic flux density at this point. This is the current element. Therefore, unit vector is directed from this current element to this point. Please note that. Vector dB2 is equal to mu naught into vector I2 dl2 cross unit vector ER21 cap divided by 4 pi R21 square. So many Tesla. This I call equation number 1. Next I'll write the force exerted on vector I1 dl1 by vector dB2 is vector dF1 is equal to vector I1 dl1 cross vector dB2. So many newtons. This I call equation 2. Substituting equation 1 in equation 2 gives equation 1 in equation 2 gives vector dF1 is equal to vector I1 dl1 cross mu naught into I2 vector dl2 cross unit vector ER21 cap divided by 4 pi R21 square. So this is nothing but mu naught into I1 I2 into vector dl1 cross vector dl2 cross unit vector ER21 cap divided by 4 pi into R21 square. So many newtons. Hence, the total force exerted on loop C1 by the magnetic field produced by I2 is vector F1 equals mu naught I1 I2 divided mu 1 into I1 I2 divided by 4 pi contour integral C1 contour integral C2 vector dl1 cross vector dl2 cross unit vector ER21 cap ER21 cap, please make this correction, ER21 cap divided by R21 square. This is the expression for force exerted on loop C1 by the magnetic field produced by the current I2. Right? Similarly, the force exerted on loop C2 by the magnetic field produced by I1 is obtained by obtained by interchanging subscripts 1 and 2. Subscripts 1 and 2. So vector F2 is equal to mu naught into I2 I1 divided by 4 pi contour integral C1 contour integral C2 vector dl2 cross vector dl1 cross unit vector AR12 cap divided by R12 square. We have interchanged subscripts 1 and 2. So many Newtons. Very important derivation. Let's practice it. Thank you. We'll go to next topic. Force between two parallel conductors. Force between two parallel conductors. Let us take two parallel conductors of infinite lengths carrying the currents I1 and I2 in the opposite directions as shown in the figure. This is conductor 1, this is conductor 2, separation distance is R. Separation distance is R. In accordance with right hand rule, current I2 produces the magnetic field. Close the fingers of the right hand with thumb pointing the direction of I2. Fingers indicate the direction of magnetic flux density. This is vector B2. B2 is produced by current I2. How to get the direction of vector B2? Close the fingers of the right hand with thumb pointing in the direction of current I2, then fingers indicate the direction of vector B2. Similarly, this is the direction of vector B1. Vector B1 is produced by current I1. So please note, thumb is now in the direction of I1, fingers are in the direction of vector B1. That means vector B1 is in which direction? Is in the clockwise direction. Vector B2 is in the anti-clockwise direction. Let me consider a small elemental length. Let us consider an elemental length, not elemental length. Consider a length L of conductor 1. Let us consider length L of conductor 1. We want to find what is the force exerted on this length L. That is the objective. So this is the direction of this is the direction of vector F2 and this is the direction of vector F1. Please note that when the currents flow in the opposite directions, the force is repulsive, quite opposite to that of Coulomb's law. I am going to write now. Let us consider two infinitely long conductors, 1 and 2, carrying currents in the opposite directions. Carrying current in the opposite directions. Let us consider two infinitely long conductors 1 and 2 carrying currents in the opposite directions. Okay. The force experienced by a length L of conductor 1 due to the magnetic field vector B2 produced by I2 is produced by I2 is vector F1 is equal to vector I1L cross vector V2, so many newtons. This implies what is the magnitude of this force? Nothing but magnitude of I1 into vector L cross vector V2 is equal to I1 into L into V2 into sine 90 degrees is equal to I1 into L into V2, so many newtons. This I call equation 1. What I have written here is, let us consider two infinitely long conductors 1 and 2 carry currents I1 and I2 in opposite directions. Okay, I have taken a small length L of conductor 1 and I want to find what is the force experienced by this length L due to the magnetic field V2. That is the objective. So, the force experienced by a length L of conductor 1 due to magnetic field vector V2 produced by the current I2 is given by this formula. This derivation I have done in the previous class. So, if you want to take the magnitude of this vector, you need not take unit vector. The angle between these two vectors, I1 into vector L and vector V2 is 90 degrees. Therefore, you get the expression I1 into L into V2 newtons. Next step is to find what is V2. Let us proceed to find V2. So, this is the current I2. This is the contour C taken in the anti-clockwise direction. And what is the radius of this contour? Radius of this contour is R. Applying Ampere's circular law gives contour integral C vector H2 dot dl is equal to current enclosed I2. This is nothing but I2. What is contour integral dl? Nothing but the circumference. So H2 into 2 pi r is equal to I2. Okay, magnitude of vector H2 is H2. Contour integral dl is equal to circumference, which is 2 pi r. That's what I have written here. This implies H2 is equal to I2 divided by 2 pi r. This in turn implies what is V2? V2 is equal to mu naught into I2 divided by 2 pi r. This I call so many Tesla. This I call equation 2. Substituting equation 2 in equation 1 gives F1 is equal to magnitude of the force equals what? I1 into L. What is V2? V2 is mu naught into I2 divided by 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I1 I2 into L divided by 2 pi r newtons. Similarly, the magnitude of the force experienced by a length L of conductor 2 due to vector B1 is F2 is equal to interchange the subscripts 1 and 2. So you get mu naught into I2 into I1 into L divided by 2 pi r newtons. Magnitude remains same. Please note that When the currents are flowing in the opposite directions, means unlike currents, the force is repulsive. When the currents I1 and I2 flow in the same direction, the force will be attractive. This is quite opposite to Coulomb's law. When I1 and I2 flow in opposite directions, right? The force between the conductors is repulsive, and when the currents I1 and I2 flow in the same direction, then the force between the conductors is attractive. This is quite opposite to Coulomb's law. What I mean is, if I1 and I2 flow in the same direction, the directions of F1 and F2 will reverse. That means the force is attractive. So I have written here, when I1 and I2 flow in opposite directions, the force between the conductors is repulsive. And when the currents I1 and I2 flow in the same direction, the force between the conductors is attractive. That means unlike currents produce repulsive force, like currents produce attractive force. This is quite opposite to Coulomb's law. Thank you. So I do a problem now. Let me read out the statement of the problem. A current element I1 vector dl1 equals 10 to the power minus 4 az cap ampere meter is located at the point P1200 meters. Another current element I2 vector dl2 equal to 10 to the power minus 6 multiplied by ax cap minus 2ay cap plus 3az cap ampere meter is located at P2 minus 200 and both are in free space. Part A, find the force exerted on I2 vector dl2 by I1 vector dl1. Part B, find the force exerted on I1 vector dl1 by I2 vector dl2. This is like, the problem is like the Coulomb's law problem, where Q1 could be I1 vector dl1 and Q2 could be I2 vector dl2. This is Coulomb's law applied for differential current elements. We shall do the problem now in this manner. Solution, very, very frequently asked problem. Let me take the Cartesian coordinate system. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. P1, this is point P1. P1 is what? 2, 0, 0, where the current element I1 vector dl1 is present. What is the current element? I1 vector dl1 is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 az cap. This is point P2, which is minus 2, 0, 0. What is the current element? I2 vector dl2 is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 into ax cap minus 2 times ay cap plus 3 times az cap. Okay, I will do now part A. Find the force exerted on I2 dl2 by I1 dl1. Correct? So this is given by the formula vector df2. Vector df2 is the force exerted on I2 dl2 by I1 vector dl1 is equal to what? I2 vector dl2 cross vector db1. The magnetic field has to come from the element I1 vector dl1 and the current is from element 2. Please note that I2 dl2 will interact with the magnetic field produced by I1 vector dl1. This is the formula which I have derived. Now what is the expression for vector? What is the expression for vector dv1 in accordance with Bhatt-Savart's law? It is nothing but mu naught into I1 vector dl1 cross unit vector ar12 cap divided by 4 pi r12 square. Vector dv1 is the magnetic field produced at this location by this element. So what is the unit vector that you have to take? You have to take the unit vector from the element to the point of interest, means from point 1 to point 2. Therefore, this is the unit vector. This is the unit vector ar12 cap. ar12 cap. ar12 cap. This unit vector acts from the element to the point of interest. Where this vector dv1 is present, it is present at this location, and vector dv1 is produced by this current element. Therefore, the unit vector has to act from the current element to the point of interest. The current element is at P1 and the point of interest is P2. At P2, this is what is the magnetic flux density? Vector dv1. So first you find what is vector r12. This is the initial point, this is the final point. Final point minus initial point into corresponding unit vectors. So it is minus 2 ax cap. Y and z coordinates are 0. So this is nothing but minus 4 into ax cap. Therefore, what is the magnitude? What is the magnitude of this vector? Magnitude of this vector is 4. And what is the direction? Direction is ar12 cap is equal to minus ax cap. Is equal to minus ax cap. Hence, vector df2 is equal to I2 into vector dl2. What is I2 into vector dl2? It is 10 to the power minus 6 into ax cap minus 2 times ay cap plus 3 times az cap cross. What is ar12 cap? ar12 cap is what? Minus ax cap. Whole thing divided by 4 pi. What is r12 square? r12 square is 16. r12 is 4. So 4 square is 16. So this is 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 64 pi into cross product of these two vectors. Which are those vectors? Ax cap minus 2 times ay cap plus 3 times az cap cross minus ax cap. These are the two vectors. We'll do this cross product by using the rule of determinants. So using determinants, 10 to the power minus 4 pi, 10 to the minus 6 by 64 pi determinant, ax cap, ay cap, az cap. Write the coefficients of ax cap, ay cap and az cap for the first vector. So what you get? 1, minus 2, 3. Write the coefficients of ax cap, ay cap, az cap for the second vector. What is the coefficient of minus ax cap? Minus 1. No ay cap, 0. No az cap, 0. So I evaluated the cross product of these two vectors by using determinants. So the answer will be, if you simplify this, the answer will be vector df2 r12 1 minute vector dl2 I2 vector I2 dl2 is written here. Vector dv1 I1 dl1. A small mistake is done. Be very careful when substituting. What is vector I2 into dl2? Vector I2 into dl2 is 10 to the power minus 6 into ax cap minus 2 times ay cap plus 3 times az cap. This is vector I2 dl2 cross. What is mu naught. What is mu naught? 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 is mu naught. What is vector I1 dl1? Vector I1 dl1 is 10 to the power minus 4 into az cap. So it is 10 to the power minus 4 into az cap. Cross. What is AR12 cap? AR12 cap is minus AX cap divided by 4 pi into R12 square means 16. One of the term I left out while doing the analysis, sorry, I have corrected it, please see. What I have done is I2 into vector dl2 is this expression which I have copied here. Cross, what is mu naught? 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. What is I1 into vector dl1? 10 to the power minus 4 into az cap. Cross, what is AR12 cap? Minus AX cap. And earlier I had not written this expression. Please correct. There are two cross products involved here. This is first cross product, this second cross product. Now we have got unit vectors. Let me draw three orthogonal unit vectors: AX cap, AY cap, AZ cap. So AZ cap cross AX cap, AZ cap cross AX cap is equal to AY cap. From unit vector AZ cap to AX cap, we are traveling in the anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, cross product gives a positive unit vector which is perpendicular to both AX cap and AZ cap, which is AY cap. So AZ cap cross AX cap is AY cap. So this expression becomes now 4 pi 10 to the power minus 7 into 10 to the power minus 6. If you add the powers, you get 10 to the power minus 13 divided by 4 pi into 16 is 64 pi into AX cap minus 2 times AY cap plus 3 times AZ cap. 10 to the power minus 6 into 10 to the, here also minus 4 is there. So to this if you add 4, it becomes 10 to the power minus 17. 6 plus 7 is 13, 13 plus 4 is 17. Therefore 10 to the power minus 17. Okay. Then this is AZ cap cross minus AX cap. AZ cap cross minus AX cap is AY cap. Now again we do this we can do now. You have got there is a cross product here. Two vectors are involved. You can use determinants. So this becomes now, or you can AX cap cross AY cap. AX cross AY cap is what? AX cross AY cap is what? AZ cap. AY cap cross AY cap is 0. What is AZ cap cross AY cap? It is nothing but minus AX cap. Like that also you can do, or you can use determinants. Whichever is convenient, you can do it. So I will do it straight away. Minus sign I take out. Minus 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 17. 10 to the power minus 17 divided by 64 pi into AX cap. AX cap, this minus sign is taken out. AX cap cross AY cap. AX cap cross AY cap means you are traveling anti-clockwise. Therefore, the unit vector is AZ cap. AY cap cross AY cap is 0. AZ cap cross AY cap. You are traveling clockwise. Therefore, minus sign. Minus AX cap multiplied by 3. I repeat again, this minus sign I have taken out, therefore this minus sign has come. AX cap cross AY cap, AX cap cross AY cap, see, AX cap cross AY cap equals what? AZ cap, that's what I have written here. AZ cap cross AY cap, AZ cap cross AY cap is equal to minus AX cap. That's what I have written here. So this expression, if you simplify, you will get, this expression if you simplify, you will get 1.875 AX cap minus 0.625 minus 0.625 AZ cap, whole thing multiplied by 10 to the power minus 18 Newton. This is the answer. So here in this problem you have to be careful. You should not substitute wrongly, and in this problem please remember there will be two cross products involved. This is one first cross product, the second cross product. I am going to do part B now. I am going to do now part B. Find the force exerted on I1 vector dl1 by I2 vector dl2. What is vector df1? Vector df1 is equal to I1 vector dl1 cross vector b2, vector db2. Interchange suffix 1 and 2 of part A. In part A, if you interchange the subscript 1 and 2, you get this expression. This is the force experienced by the current element here due to the magnetic field produced by the current element at P2. So what is vector dV2 in accordance with Bach-Savart's law? It is mu naught into I2 vector dl2 cross unit vector AR 21 cap divided by 4 pi R21 square. Please note that the magnetic field is produced at this point. Magnetic field is produced at this point by the current element at P2. Therefore, this is the direction of AR21 cap. The direction of AR21 cap is opposite to that of AR12 cap. So what is R21? Where R21 is equal to R12 is equal to 4 and AR21 cap is minus AR12 cap is equal to AX cap. Please note that. Hence vector df1 is equal to, what is I1 into vector dl1? It is 10 to the power minus 4 into AZ cap cross. What is mu naught? Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. What is I2 vector dl2? It is 10 to the power minus 6 into AX cap minus 2 times AY cap plus 3 times AZ cap cross. What is AR21 cap? AR21 cap is what? AX cap. Whole thing divided by 4 pi into 16. There are two cross products involved. This is the first cross product, the second cross product. So let me draw three orthogonal unit vectors: AX cap, AY cap, and AZ cap. These are three mutually orthogonal vectors. So what is AX cap cross AX cap? 0. What is AY cap cross AX cap? AY cap cross AX cap. AY cap cross AX cap is equal to minus AZ cap. If you are traveling from AY cap to AX cap in the clockwise direction, hence the minus sign here. Next, AZ cap cross AX cap. This is AZ cap cross AX cap. Movement is anti-clockwise. Therefore, what you get? You get AY cap. So let me now evaluate this cross product. So the constant is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 4 plus 7, 11 plus 6, 17. So 10 to the power minus 17 divided by 64 pi. AZ cap cross Ax cap cross Ax cap is 0, minus 2. Ay cap cross Ax cap is minus Az cap, plus 3. Az cap cross Ax cap is Ay cap. This is the expression. So this is nothing but now 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 17 divided by 64 pi Az cap cross 2 times Az cap plus 3 times Ay cap. Az cap cross Az cap is 0. So Az cap cross Ay cap. Az cap cross Ay cap is equal to minus Ax cap. You can do this way or you can use determinants and evaluate the cross product. Choice is yours. Here, direct evaluation is easier than evaluation is in determinants. So this is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 17 divided by 64 pi into minus 3 times Az cap cross Ay cap is minus Ax cap. So if you simplify this expression, you will get this answer. Minus 1.875 into 10 to the power minus 18 Ax cap. 10 to the power minus 18 Ax cap. So many newtons. This is the answer. So the force will be in newtons. This is how the force between two differential elements is computed. Thank you. Next we will do a reinforcement problem. Let me read out the statement. A charge Q equal to 500 into 10 to the power minus 20 coulomb is moving with a velocity vector u equals 0.2 ax minus 0.3 ay cap plus 0.6 az cap into 10 to the power 6 meters per second. At t equal to 0, through a uniform magnetic field, vector b equals minus 400 ax cap plus 200 ay cap minus 100 az cap millitesla. Part A, find vector E at t equal to 0 if the net force on the charge is 0. Part B, if the electric field is completely in the positive x direction and the magnitude of the total force is 2 into 10 to the power minus 12 newtons at t equal to 0, find Ex. Let me read out the problem once again. A charge Q equal to 500 into 10 to the power minus 20 coulombs is moving with a velocity vector u is equal to 0.2 into ax cap minus 0.3 into ay cap plus 0.6 into az cap into 10 to the power 6 meters per second. At t equal to 0, through a uniform magnetic field of flux density, vector b equal to minus 400 ax cap plus 200 ay cap minus 100 az cap millitesla. Part A, find vector E at t equal to 0 if the net force of the charge is 0. Part B, if the electric field is completely in the positive x direction and the magnitude of the total force is 2 into 10 to the power minus 12 newtons at t equal to 0, find Ex. Asked in the examination, exercise problem from the prescribed textbook. Solution. Given, part A, given total force, given vector F total equal to 0. Total net force is 0. Total force is made up of electrostatic force and magnetic force equal to 0. So what is magnetic force? This implies vector Fe is equal to vector Fm with a minus sign. What is vector Fe? Q into vector E is equal to minus vector Fm. This implies vector E is equal to minus vector Fm divided by Q. This I call equation 1. It is given in the problem net force is 0. That means vector F total equal to 0. The total force is made up of electrostatic force and magnetic force. Electrostatic force and magnetic force. So what is electrostatic force? Negative of magnetic force. What is vector Feq times vector E? Now our objective is to find vector Fm. To find vector Fm, next step, is to find, next step is to find vector Fm. What is vector Fm? Vector Fm is equal to q times u cross b. This is nothing but q cross q. What is q? Q is 500 into 10 to the power minus 20. Vector u has got a factor 10 to the power 6 that I write here. Vector b is in millitesla, therefore 10 to the power minus 3 factor will come. Now I will now compute the cross product of u and b using determinants. Or you can do by the fundamentals by drawing the small diagram of orthogonal unit vectors and following the procedure which I have done in the previous problem. For example, ax cap cross ay cap, az cap. Ay cap cross az cap is what? Ay cap. See, write this figure so that there is absolutely no confusion. This is ax cap, this is ay cap, az cap. What is ax cap cross ay cap? Az cap. Ay cap cross az cap? Ax cap. Az cap cross ax cap? Ay cap. Any anti-clockwise movement in this diagram will give a positive unit vector. I have told that in several problems. Okay. This problem I solve using determinants. This is unit vector ax cap, unit vector ay cap, unit vector az cap. Ux, uy, uz, bx, by, bz equals 500 into 10 to the power minus 23. 23, this is 10 to the power minus 23, means 10 to the power minus 17. Okay, 10 to the power minus 17. Determinant ax cap, ay cap, az cap. What is ux? Ux is 0.2. 10 to the power 6 already factored here. Okay, 0.2. What is uy? Minus 0.3. What is uz? 0.6. Next, vector b. This is minus 400, 200 and minus 100. 10 to the millitesla means 10 to the power minus 3 will be present. Once you convert millitesla into Tesla, the 10 to the power minus 3 is factored here. Now evaluate this determinant. If you evaluate this determinant, the answer you are going to get is 5 into 10 to the power minus 13 multiplied by minus 0.9 ax cap minus 2.2 ay cap minus 0.8 az cap. This is the answer you get once you evaluate this determinant. Now this is equation 2. This equation 2, I will substitute in equation 1. Substituting equation 2 in equation 1 gives vector E is equal to minus, what is vector Fm? Vector Fm is 5 into 10 to the power minus 13 multiplied by minus 0.9 ax cap minus 2.2 times ay cap minus 0.8 az cap divided by q. What is q? 500 into 10 to the power minus 20. So if you simplify this expression, this is the answer you are going to get. 10 to the power 4 into 9 ax cap plus 22 ay cap, 22 ay cap plus 8 az cap. So many volts per meter. This is the answer of part A. Next I will move to part B. Part B, given vector E is equal to Ex into Ax cap, because he said electric field is completely in the positive x direction, and magnitude of the total force is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 12. Also, okay, hence, what is vector F total? Nothing but vector Fe plus vector Fm is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 12. This implies modulus of what is vector Fe? Nothing but Q into vector E plus vector Fm modulus is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 12. This implies Q into Ex plus what is Fm? Fm is, we have got that expression, it is what, 5 into 10 to the power minus 13 minus 0.9 Ax cap minus 2.2 Ay cap minus 0.8 Az cap. Modulus of this is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 12. What is Q? Q is 500 into, this implies square root of, what is Q? Q is nothing but 500 into 10 to the power minus 20. What is coefficient of Ax cap? Coefficient of what is E? This is vector E is equal to Ex into Ax cap. What is coefficient of Ax cap? Coefficient of Ax cap is Q into Ex, where Q is equal to 500 into 10 to the power minus 12. From here, what is the coefficient of Ax cap? Minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 13 into 0.9 squared. What is coefficient of Ay cap? Plus minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 13 into 2.2 whole square. Coefficient of Ay cap squared. What is coefficient of Az cap? Plus minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 13 into 0.8 whole square is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 12. In this expression, only unknown is the x square, both sides, you will get a quadratic, solve it. Solving we get Ex is equal to 4.14 into 10 to the power minus 5 volts per meter, and Ex is equal to minus 2.34 into 10 to the power 5 volts per meter. Two answers will come because you will get a quadratic equation. When you solve that, this is the result. Thank you.